chapter 4, no, chapter 7, shlok क्रमांक 4. In this chapter, we try to understand in these shlokas, shloka number 4, we try to understand about the son of the Atri, means Dattatreya Maharaj. Divine pastimes as a son, the appearance of Dattatreya, and the profound explanation of self-realization. Shloka Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam
Narayana
Namaskritya
Namaskritam
Naram
Naram
Chaiva
Chaiva
Narottamam
Naruttamam Devim
Devim
Saraswatim
Saraswatim
Vyasam
Vyasam
Tatah
Tato
Jayam
Jayam Udire
Udashindaya
Nashtaprayeshu
Nastapayeshu
Bhadreshu
Abhadreshu
Nityam
Nityam
Bhagavata
Bhagavata
Sevaya
Sevaya Bhagavati
Bhagavati
Uttam
Uttama
Shloke
Shloke Bhakti Bhavati
Bhaktirbhavati
Naistiki.
Naistiki.
Hare Krishna. Atrehe apatyam abhikankshata avatushta
अत्रेः अपत्यम् अभिकाङ्क्षत आह तुष्टः
दत्तः मया अहम इति यत् भगवान् स दत्तः
दत्तः मयाहम् इति यत् भगवान् स दत्तः
यत् पाद पंकज पराग पवित्र देहा
यत् पादपङ्कज पराग पवित्र देहाः
योग योग रिद्धिम आपुः उभयम यदु हय आद्याः
योगरिद्धिम् आपुः उभयम् यत् अहेहय आदयाः
अत्रे अपत्यम अभिकांक्षतः आहतुष्टः
अत्र अपत्यम् अभिकाङ्क्षत आह तुष्टः
दत्तः मया अहम इति यत् भगवान् सः दत्तः
दत्तः मयाहम् इति यत् भगवान् स दत्तः
यद पाद पंकज पराग पवित्र देहा
यत् पादपङ्कज पराग पवित्र देहाः
योग रुद्धिम अपुह उभयिम यत् उभयिम यदु हय आद्याः.
योगरिद्धिम् आपुः उभयम् यत् हयहय आद्यः.
Translation and purport by the Srila Prabhupada. The great sage Atri prayed for offspring, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, promised to incarnate as Atri's son, Dattatreya, Datta, the son of Atri. And by the grace of the lotus feet of the Lord, many Yadus, Hayayas, etc. became so purified that they obtained both material and spiritual blessings. Purport. Transcendental relation between the personality of Godhead and the living entities are eternally established in 5 different affectionate humors, which are known as Shanta, Dasya, Sankhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. The sage Atri was related with the Lord in the affectionate Vatsalya humor, and therefore, as a result of his devotional perfection, he was inclined to have the personality of Godhead as his son. The Lord accepted his prayer, and he gave himself as the son of Atri. Such a relation of sonhood between the Lord and his pure devotees can be cited in many instances. And because the Lord is unlimited, he has an unlimited number of other devotees. Actually, the Lord is the father of all living entities. But out of transcendental affection and love between the Lord and his devotees, the Lord takes more pleasure in becoming the son of devotee than in becoming one's father. The father actually serves the son, whereas the son only demands all sorts of services from the father. Therefore, a pure devotee who is always inclined to serve the Lord wants him as the son and not as the father. The Lord also accepts such service from the devotee, and thus the devotee becomes more than the Lord. The impersonalist desire to become one with the Supreme, but the devotee becomes more than the Lord, surpassing the desire of the greatest monist. Parents and other relatives of the Lord achieve all mystic opulences automatically because of their intimate relationship with the Lord. Such opulences include all details of material enjoyment, salvation, and mystic power. Therefore, the devotee of the Lord does not seek them separately, wasting his valuable time in life. The valuable time of one's life must therefore be spent in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Then other desirable achievements are automatically gained. But even after obtaining such achievements, one should be on guard against the pitfall of offenses at the feet of the devotee. The vivid example is Hai, who achieved all such perfection in devotional service, but because of his offense at the feet of a devotee, was killed by Lord Parshuram. The Lord became the son of the great sage Atri and became uh, known as the Dattatreya. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टम स्थापितम येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवाञ्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांच नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देश तारिणे वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. Today we continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, Chapter 7, Schedule Incarnation, Shloka number 4. In this shloka, the incarnation of the Dattatreya, that is the son of the Atri. That Atri is the great sage, and when he prayed to the Lord, uh, and he's praying, Atri Muni is praying, Lord satisfied with him, and he promised to incarnate his son as, and so he is the son of Atri, so they known as the Dattatreya. And about Dattatreya, uh, why they take that incarnation, Prabhuji will tell us in nicely. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyecha kripa sindhubhyecha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandapranam Mataji. Thank you very much for this opportunity to once again go through the reasons and understanding basically why Krishna loves to be a child and give the pleasure of having a Vatsalya Rasa to a devotee. So if you see, let us concentrate and start the discussions from the shloka where we are talking about Atri. Now we all know Sage Atri, he had done a lot of austerity and he had a desire. He prayed that he got a progeny, and so along with his wife Anasuya, he performed austerities in the valley of the Riksha mountain. Now, regarding location of the Riksha mountain, there are different scriptural uh, disagreements, I would say. Some say it is near Nanded, some say it is near the Dakshin Plateau, some say it is near the Himalayas. So they did severe austerities there. They stood on one leg and they were not eating or drinking anything. They were alive only on air. And he continued his penance for nearly 100 years. His desire was that the Lord of the universe, in whom he had taken shelter, he should grant him a son like himself. Now that's a big desire. So when he was doing the penance, because of his intense austerity, a blazing fire emanated from his head. And since it was a fire which had come from the head, it was obviously noticed by the three principal deities in the material world: Brahma, Vishnu, and Shivji. Now, Atri had meditated on the Lord of the universe without a specific name or a form in mind. So all three of them appeared in front of him. And Atri was delighted. He was wondering, I'm so very lucky I'm able to get the auspicious darshana of all the three great deities. So seeing them together, he was very, very happy. But at the same time, confusion evolved because he could not take a call. Who amongst the three he had invoked? So he was unsure what to do. So he directly asked the deities whom he had called upon. And he said that I had prayed to the Lord of the universe. I'm so very fortunate that you all three have come to bless me. But I don't know whom I had invoked amongst the three of you. So all three responded that his resolve was pure. And so, since the resolve was pure, it is but natural that whatever he had intended has to happen. So all three of them said that we are just parts and parcels of the supreme entity whom you had meditated upon. And since you were not clear, we are here. But because you had a pure intention, pure resolve, we will ensure that your desire is met and will take birth as your child. And the deities went. Atri and Anasuya both were happy. And it is but obvious because the Trinity had granted them the boon that he would have sons who would be their partial incarnations, especially of their powers, and would spread their fame across the world. So time passed, and as a result of the penance and the benediction which was received, Anusuya gave birth to three illustrious sons: Soma, who is a partial representative of Lord Brahma; Dattatreya, who is a partial representative of Lord Vishnu; and Durvasa, who is a partial representative of Lord Shiva. Now, we will be coming across Durvasa Muni a lot in later parts of the Bhagavatam. Similarly, about so we would be learning later on. What is important right now is, since we are considering Brahmaji is conveying about the incarnations to Narada, what this shlok is highlighting is about Dattatreya incarnation and how he arrived. Now it is said that, as you have seen in the previous three lectures already on this topic in this chapter, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkrita. This is what Krishna says. That he comes basically to ensure that the religious persons are given support and those who are demons they are destroyed. Dharma sansthapanarthaya, and he wants to establish the religion. And when does he come? Yada yada hi adharmasya glanihi bhavati. So now that Lord Dattatreya had come, it is but obvious that there should be one of these reasons. Otherwise, Krishna never takes incarnation either in Asvamsha or even Shaktiavesh Vibhinnaamsha. Now here the shloka is very clear that Dattatreya is a Shaktiavesh Amsha of Vishnu, and Vishnu is the plenary expansion of Krishna. So indirectly, Dattatreya is also an expansion of Krishna only. So his arrival was definitely for the religious purposes. But the most important reason which Krishna does not give in Bhagavad Gita for his arrival is to please his devotees and to have a reciprocal association with the devotees, the loving exchanges with his devotees. Krishna is only interested in loving exchanges with his devotees, and that is why he comes again and again. Because if it was a question of only destroying the demons, his personal presence is not required. He has so many energies, he can simply by his will do anything. If it is a question of only re-establishment of religion, he can get it done from anywhere. If it is only a question of uh, uh, taking care of the religious persons, he can enable anyone to take care of it. So he comes, though these are the superficial reason, the important reason is that he wants to have a reciprocal loving exchange with his devotees. So when the devotees cry and call for Krishna, Arati is one of the words which we had seen in the shlokas yesterday. When the devotees are in despair and they want to meet Krishna, that is the time the incarnation comes. And at times, Krishna comes as himself also. So here, when he has come as Dattatreya, we'll see in the life history of Dattatreya, he did a lot of activities to re-establish religion. And he was one of those who made everyone aware of how to learn from nature. Like from earth, he understood the importance of forbearance. Wind, he understood to have a be free like the wind and yet resolute to the force. From sky, he understood the soul, which has no limits. So 24 different natures, and he understood knowledge. He told us what you can learn from nature itself. There are a lot of temples of Dattatreya as well. One of the important is in Mahur, in Nanded. One is in Narayanpur on Pune Satara Road near Pune. Then one is near Pandharpur in southern Maharashtra. And then we see various Puranas also who have explained about Dattatreya. There's also Dattatreya Upanishad, Darshan Upanishad, and Avdhuta Upanishad, where there is mention of Dattatreya Lord. So he is also supposed to be one of the initiators of the Nath Sampradaya, the Nath Yogis, who later on became the warrior ascetic group. Then Avdut Sampradaya, the nine Narayanas of the Avdut Sampradaya are again attributed to Dattatreya. So, all in all, he tried to re-establish and spread the message of Krishna, of religiosity, of importance of religion. But then there is one important another aspect which we learn from him. How Atri Muni was a devotee but never considered a pure devotee. Atri's austerity was extraordinary. He could make Brahma, Vishnu, and Shivji come and give him benediction. So he was a devotee, but he was not a pure devotee. He clearly did not know the name and the form of the Lord of the universe. He desired a son like the Lord, not the Lord himself. And this was a material desire. And so, if you have a material desire, then you cannot be a pure devotee. In contrast, Vasudev, Devki, they desired to have Lord Krishna himself as their son, which is considered a pure devotion. And as a result of all this, though Atri Muni is a great devotee, he is not the pure devotee. His mention does not come in the list of pure devotees. And to show the difference from Vasudev, because Vasudev and Devaki, they wanted Krishna as their son.
Vasudev, Vasudev.
Vasudev. So I'm just highlighting on the screen out here a brief comparative of Vasudev and Atri Muni, wherein Atri Muni meditated on the Lord as Lord of the universe. Krishna's father meditated directly on Krishna. Atri Muni desired a son like the Lord, and here he desired Lord himself as a son. Atri Muni therefore received sons as partial incarnations of the three deities. And Vasudev, such fortune, he received Krishna himself, the complete incarnation, as his son. Now, when we're talking about these incarnations and expansions, the immediate next question comes is what is the difference between Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva? Now, Lord's expansions are of two types. Swaunsh, which belong to the Vishnu Tattva category, and Vibhinansh, which are the Jivas, the individual souls. Jivas are in a state of illusion affected by Maya, whereas Swaunsh possess divine qualities akin to Lord. So, understanding this is essential to recognize Lord's forms and incarnations. Moreover, there is a hierarchy of powers. The Vishnu Tattvas possess 94% of the Lord's power and qualities. The Shiva Tattva 84%, Brahma Tattva 78%, and the other Jivas less than 78%. Dattatreya here was a direct expansion of Vishnu, while Durvasa and Soma were expansions of Shiva and Brahma respectively. So Krishna desires to come not only to fulfill the desire of the devotee, but also to experience certain relationships. So, five eternal devotional modes of the Lord: Shanta, that is neutral; Dasya, servitude; Sankhya, friendship; Sakhya, friendship; Vatsalya, parental; and Madhurya, conjugal. What we are seeing today, Atri Muni's connection to the Lord is in Vatsalya mode, desiring the Lord as son. And the Lord accepted the prayer and incarnated as son. Now, receiving the Lord as a son is the highest service mode. Now, Lord actually is the father of all beings, yet he appears as son to accept the service of his devotees. A father serves his son, so a devotee desires the Lord as a son to serve him. And in this service mode, the devotee attains the position higher than the Lord himself. Prabhupada ji in the purport talks that all siddhis, that is spiritual perfections, opulences, they are automatically attained. Parents, relatives, associates of Lord, they attain worldly pleasure, liberation, yogic powers. But a devotee never desires this separately because their sole aim is to serve the Lord. Because when a deep connection with the Lord is established, the devotee automatically attains all material and spiritual perfections. So desiring siddhis is a waste of time. Even after advancing in devotion, a devotee must maintain respect and service attitude towards others. Otherwise, downfall is possible. Prabhupada, this shloka talks about King Haya. So there's a caution for us. This example of Haya. King Haya, he had attained perfection in devotional service. Yet, he was killed by Lord Parshuram because he insulted a great devotee. We'll be learning more about him when we go to the Parshuram avatar, so I'm not going to touch it. But this shloka talks about it, and that is why this becomes important. That always and always we should have service attitude and respect. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told us, Trinadapi Sunichena, Amanina Manadena, and Kirtaniya Sadhari. And if we are subjected to any atrocities, any disrespect, then Tarorapi Sahishtuna. We should always serve the feet of the devotees and remain humble towards them. So the conclusion from today's shloka is the story of Atri Muni and the arrival of Dattatreya teaches that pure devotion requires not only austerity but also clear knowledge of Lord's form, name, and qualities. A pure devotee is one who desires to attain the Lord Himself, not merely something like Him. True devotion to the Lord is selfless, it is pure. Anyabhilashita shunyam. The Lord manifests according to sincere desire of His devotees. So we should be very, very careful with what we desire. The Lord's pastimes are inconceivable. He manifests himself according to devotee's mood, whether the devotee is fully knowledgeable or not. The most essential aspect of path of devotion is to know and worship the true form and name of the Lord. Because powers that manifest through connection with the Lord, siddhis, liberation, happiness, they are automatically attained. But the goal must not be that. Goal must solely be devotion. If our life is fully dedicated to the service of the Lord, all siddhis are automatically attained. So let us concentrate on our sadhana, on our chanting, on our reading, on our associating, on our deity services, on engaging ourselves in serving Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and Bhakta. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.